My Singing Monsters 4.5 is coming out on Wednesday. Let's take a look at how we can prepare for the update. This update brings 2 new additions to the Magical Islands. 1, we get a new monster for the Magicals, starting with Light Island, and 2, we'll get the Mirror Islands for the Magicals. Luckily, the App Store gives us some information on the Mirror Islands. Let's take a look. Mirror Magical Islands. Journey to the Mirror Timeline and discover new magical mirror islands inspired by the Outer Islands of ancient times. In this picture here, we can see the 4 islands pins. You can see the Light Island mixed with Party Island, Cloud Island mixed with Fairy Island, Psychic Island, and Space Island, and Cave Island and Bone Island. It's super cool that there are references to the Dawn of Fire Islands. The main question I have is how are we going to buy them? The natural mirror islands cost diamonds, so I can only assume the Magicals will as well. But how many diamonds? My prediction is that it will match the amount of keys that dipsters cost. For example, Plant Island dipsters cost 1 key, and Mirror Plant Island costs 100 diamonds. Cold Island dipsters cost 2 keys, and Mirror Cold Island costs 200 diamonds, and so on and so on. All the Magical Island dipsters cost 3 keys, so my prediction is that each of these islands will cost 300 diamonds. Now, I'm hoping that they won't cost diamonds at all, but realistically, this is the most likely thing to happen. So you're going to want to stock up on diamonds to buy the islands and food to feed the monsters. Let's take a look at the new monster. Luckily, the App Store has us covered once again, and we get to learn the name of the entity, the Phosphorin Phlox. As we know from the trailer, the new monster hatches out of this thing, and the obvious question is how? I think we can be pretty sure that the Phosphorin Phlox is the replacement for the Colossi on Light Island, and will fill it up like we normally would. From the looks of the trailer, we may have to wake up the island by attaching all of the monsters on the island, which is cool, but for new players, it's going to be very difficult. I propose an alternative system. Perhaps the monster will only take a certain amount of energy to wake up, and maybe rare and epic monsters give more of that energy. I like this idea better because it means that you don't have to have a full monster book to wake up your Titan. Since the Phosphorin Phlox is going to be replacing the Colossi, we can expect that this new monster is the soul of the Titan. And so just like when you complete the conundrum on the natural islands, we'll be able to hear the song of the Titan. But instead of it just coming from the Titan itself, we get to see it as a monster, which I think is really cool. So is this thing going to cost any money? I doubt it. I think it's going to be a free structure that we'll be able to fill up slowly, just like the Colossi. It's going to be interesting to see how they approach getting it on the Mirror Islands though. Maybe we'll have to fill it up on the Mirror Islands as well. You remember seeing in the trailer that this thing was shooting some sort of beam at the other monsters, and everyone was a bit confused at what this might be. But I think there are 2 things that it could be. 1, this could be the way we transport monsters to the Mirror Island. The reason I say this is because at the end of the trailer you see the beams landing on Mirror Light Island. Perhaps we have to complete the whole monster collection to put the Phosphorin Phlox on the Mirror Island. It could be that this is an extra step towards waking up the Titan, that once you complete the conundrum it wakes up the monster, and then the monster has to wake up the Titan with the help of the other monsters. It's going to be really interesting to see how Big Blue Bubble works this out. Either way, I'll keep you guys posted with the details, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Before you go, you might want to see my wacky predictions for what I thought this would be before we saw the trailer, and that's right here.